Hey Sugar members, it's me, Monkey Chicken here, and the topic of today's video is how to craft in Fallout 4. And with that, let's go and begin. Okay guys, so last night on my stream, I got a question of how crafting works and the different components of how it all comes together to make your awesome guns and mods and whatnot. And I thought it was kind of self-explanatory, and then once I got that question, I thought, okay, I'll go and show you how to do it. So let's go and begin. So, if you guys want to, you guys can come down here to Red Rocket, which I think is the best place to come to, because you got your weapon station, you got your power armor station, you got your workshop, things for building materials and other things. You also got your armor station, and back here you got your chemistry set. I like to call it chemistry state, although it's chemistry station, but that's a whole different other thing. But anyways, guys, we're going to be focusing on the weapon station here today. And yeah, so what you're going to want to do is come over here to this weapon station, and then when you hit craft, you can see all your different weapons and whatnot that you have in your inventory. And on the right-hand side, you can see the different attachments that are there. For instance, this minigun, I got a standard barrel, standard sights, and no muzzle on it. And then on the kind of opposite spectrum of that, you got my best friend, which is not a powerful weapon that you find in the game. This is my very first custom weapon that I've ever made myself, and as you can see, I've kind of customized it up. I got a hair triggered long barrel, comfortable grip, and a large magazine, although I want to make the auto injector, but that's something else. As you guys can see, as you come over to the side of what you want to build, for instance, if you want to build a large magazine, you're going to need a certain amount of adhesive, screws, springs, and steels. And the components that you need or materials that you need in order to build these different mods for your weapons are going to change depending on the thing that you want to construct. Harder and more complicated, more useful things are going to be more costly in materials that you're going to need, whether it's just increasing the amount that you're going to need or just increasing the different variation in components and rarity of those components that you need in order to build them. For instance, if you guys look at the quick ejection mag, you can see that I'm missing a lot of materials here, but there's also another little stipulation that I need in order to build this thing. I need perk gun nut rank 2 in order to build this thing. Another little kind of rescue requirement that you could find that you need is if you guys go over to the sites here, as you can see the recon site, not only do I need a lot of materials because this is a very useful attachment and it not only has a bunch of materials and very hard to find materials that I need, but I also need 2 perks. I need gun nut and science, which I both don't have, so I'm going to have to meet the requirements in order to get those perks, and then I'm going to have to unlock those perks themselves in order to start even building this site that looks super amazing. I can't wait to get. So yeah, there's different requirements that you may need in order to get, and a nice little feature is you may think like, frack, I don't know how to find adhesive, aluminum, circuitries, crystals, fiber optics, or nuclear material. What the hell does that even mean? How do I even find those things? Well, if you don't know, you can hit T for tag for search, and what that does is an amazing little feature that I love that they put into the game. So as you go through the game, you may find that, oh, there's just a bunch of random materials on the ground. I don't even know what these things are for. Are they even useful? They all seem super stupid. I'm just going to grab that aluminum can. But it's also a really good example. So if you look, this Boston Bugle, which is just a piece of paper magazine that's on the ground, it's absolutely nothing. But if you were to come over here to this plastic plate, if you notice there's a little magnifying glass next to it, and what that means is that when you break down this material, this item that's here in this game, it's going to give me something that I'm looking for building that attachment, and for that it's going to be plastic. I just know that right off the top of my head. If you kind of look around here, you also got this toaster. Apparently there's something that when you break down this toaster, there's parts in there that I need in order to build that amazing site. So that's something that you can do that's really helpful, is just kind of go through the world like, oh, adjustable wrenches, I'm not really needing that right now. Although you can still pick up all these items, there's no real penalty for that other than that you have to carry it. But it's just a good little thing to have, because if you're ever just wandering through the world, you're like, oh my god, I can't find anything. Oh, look, here. Wouldn't even think that I need a telephone, but apparently I need a telephone. There's some component in there that I need in order to build my amazing site, just like this coffee pot. I mean, who would even think about that? In fact, yep, even the hot plate itself I need. See, it's just a nice little feature. And another nice little feature that they include into the game, if you notice when you walk up to this workbench, if you hit R to transfer, there's this little button down here that you can push that says store all junk. And if you guys kind of scroll over, what your junk is not just random items that they deem unworthy, but the actual items that you use to break things down themselves. And as you guys see, when you scroll over to this toaster, there's springs. What I need is springs out of this toaster, but I also get steel out of this telephone. I get circuitry, copper, and fiberglass, this plastic plate. Of course, I just get plastic out of in the hot plate. I get different materials there. And as you can see, the different items that I needed, like, oh, see, you needed this hot plate because you knew you were looking for circuitry, and you're also looking for screws. And it's amazing because now, if I were to hit T, boom, all my junk, or essentially my items that I'm going to be using to break down, are taken out of my inventory and are put into my workshop and are just waiting there in order for me to break it down and use for different mods that I want to make for my guns, which is just so amazingly awesomeness that I absolutely just love. And you don't have to worry about like taking them out of the workbench back in your inventory in order to craft. Once they're in your workbench like there, you don't have to worry about it. Just go ahead and craft away. It'll automatically take them apart. And also, you don't have to worry about like, oh no, now that I got this toaster, where do I go to break it down in order to get the screws and circuitries and stuff that I need out of it? Nope. You just have it either in your inventory or inside the workbench itself, and it'll go ahead and break it down, and you'll have the materials just waiting on hand, just there. You don't have to worry about breaking it down and kind of scrapping it out and whatnot, which is just an awesome amazingness little feature that you have. Also, another little thing that you guys may not know, and I wish I known before I started breaking down all my weapons, because if you don't know, you can, if you get a bunch of weapons that you don't even want, you can break them down at the workbench for materials, is that there's, oh, I have a level that I can use, is there's a perk here at level 5 intelligence called Scrapper, that when you break down your different weapons or armor, that you actually get parts. You know, you could get nuclear material, fiber optics, you can also get circuitry, you can get wood, once again, depending on the weapon itself. You won't get all the materials that it takes in order to make that weapon. Like if it takes, I don't know, X amount of materials in order to make a hair-triggered 10mm pistol, you won't get all the materials that it took in order to make the hair-triggered mod that's on that gun. It just gives you a random assortment of different materials for that weapon itself. So it's a nice little perk to get. I know, me, I scrapped a ton of my weapons, then found out there was a perk that did that, and I felt super sad because I apparently scrapped a whole bunch of weapons when I could have got a whole bunch of parts with it too. So it's a pretty good idea to take that perk kind of early on, especially if you're going to be building different mods and attachments for your weapons. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video in its nutshell. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, guys, I'm Monkey Chicken. That's all I really got. Peace.